Hello. Wasn't expecting to make this today. Not at all. Um, the Lord gave me a verse earlier today that I want to talk about because it kind of deals with like what I kind of talked about yesterday. Um, actually, the two things that I talked about yesterday. Um, I'm just gonna give a little context. Yesterday, I talked about focusing on the Lord on stream, and I uploaded the video for Motivational Mondays. Uh, and what that looks like if you don't focus on the Lord. Um, and I also talked about my health, like my body, and trying to get into the gym, and like there's always something that's giving me pushback, or there's something that's causing me to get injured or something to where I can't work out. And last night, um, the thing that made me lose my focus on the Lord was a potential relationship with someone that I was being deceived. And it led me to be have a full blown 20-30 minute like mental breakdown in my living room. Almost broke down in the middle of the grocery store. um I said on stream yesterday that um it was because the reason why I got that was because of like what I realized that I lost. It was because of my own fault, because of what I wanted so much, um that I got uh that I lost my focus. The thing that I wanted was right there. It was right there, and I wanted it so badly that I lost focus on the Lord. And because, like I said again with the video yesterday, like I said, I that's one of the biggest things that I want in life is a family, someone that loves me, someone that I can love, that we can both love each other on a personal and intimate level. I desire that so much, and I've been single for 18 years. 18 years. I have a mint in my mouth. And the other thing that I've wanted to do is lose this weight, get strong, get ripped. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, um, but something has always stopped me from that. Um, like when I first started going, I was getting my leg was getting attacked. Um, Making it to where I could barely do cardio workouts, like walking, treadmill, a regular bike, sitting bike. Um, uh, and then when that didn't take, a few months later, I got COVID. Was out for that. They kicked me out of the gym for months, got me out of that mode. Went back in like a week later. I got COVID again. Um, and then after that, I was out of the gym for a while. Went back in, and like I had a buddy that the third time around, I had a buddy that who's like basically a bodybuilder, and he showed me the ropes and everything, and I went out on my own out for a couple weeks, and slowly but surely I started like injuring and getting like my body started getting injured, my back, my shoulder, my and then my bicep eventually, and it's getting to and then last week I was just standing out in public recording videos for my group's street team, doing evangelism and all that. And my back started getting into so much pain in my upper back because I believe I have a bulging disc, that I couldn't go to I went to the gym that night, but like it was excruciating. And then I couldn't go to the gym for the rest of the week, and I haven't been in since last week. And I asked the Lord why this is happening, and He showed me a series of visions that showed me that that my body has been under attack by the enemy. Um, but I'm standing on a promise that He gave me. Um, well, promises, and I'm gonna get into those in a second. But last night I was about to start reading Romans again. Like I read the first chapter because I thought that's what He wanted me to read. He's like, "No, I don't want you to read that. I only wanted you to read that one chapter. Now I want you to read Leviticus." I'm like, "Oh." That's interesting, because Leviticus is a pretty intense book about like all the rules and laws and everything that Moses, or that was given to Moses through the Lord. I'm sorry, I keep like my throat is like for some reason a little dry. So I read chapter 1 last night. I didn't really think anything of it. Lord told me not to worry about studying or anything, but then at lunch today, he told me to read the second chapter, and I thought I was going to be reading just a chapter a night for like basically for the month. And he's like, nope, just read it, and then I'm going to point something out to you. I'm reading it, and then I get down to verse 13. Season all of your grain offerings with salt to remind you of God's eternal covenant. Never forget to add salt to your grain offerings. I'm going to read that one more time and not stutter. Season all of your grain offerings with salt to remind you of God's eternal covenant. I started again. God's eternal covenant. Never forget to add salt to your grain offerings. There's two confirmations for me in those two sentences, that one verse. One, season all of your grain offerings with salt to remind you of God's eternal covenant. That right there is the promise. As his eternal covenant, his covenant with you. Covenant is another word for promise. God's promised me a lot of things, but there's two in particular that have been coming up for me this last week. Well, in this season, really, is me wanting a relationship, me wanting to finally meet my kingdom spouse. And two, my body, my health. Trying to get that in line. I'm trying to get stronger, but just for some reason, I'm somehow injuring myself, even though I feel like I'm doing all the exercises right. I might be going a little intense. But the two promises that the Lord's given me is, one, I am going to meet her. I am going to meet my kingdom spouse. He said he's already connected us spiritually, I guess, in a way. I just haven't met her yet. And I probably have met her. I just don't know it yet. The other is that he told me a couple years ago, do not worry, or you will be strong like Samson. That's a promise right there. Those two, like the two biggest promises that I've kind of really held on to, because I want to be strong. I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to be healthy, but more importantly, I want to be strong for the Lord, because he's got a mission for me. And then the second part of that verse, never forget to add salt. Meaning, do not lose focus on God. Don't lose your focus. I know it's difficult. From just this past experience, this past week, I unfortunately had to learn the hard way of how hard and difficult it is to keep your focus on God when there's that one thing that you want so badly, that you've wanted for almost 2 decades. It's right there. But the enemy is just like stringing you along. Like, oh, it's right there. Oh, keep going. Go on. You got to be quicker than that. Like that commercial, like that whatever insurance commercial with the old man with the fishing rod with $1, and the person's trying to grab it. It's like, oh, got to be quicker than that. You know. This verse just confirmed everything for me in 2 simple sentences. I am going to get the promise that he gave me. Promise is, I just need to make sure to add salt. I need to make sure I focus on God. Season all your grain offerings with salt to remind you of God's eternal covenant. Never forget to add salt to your grain offerings. Never forget that God has given you a promise. He's told you what's going to happen. He told you what he's going to do for you. He told you what he's going to do for me. He told me what he's going to do for me. But we cannot forget about him. We have to keep our focus on him. That's one thing that he's told me multiple times throughout the years, like, do not forget me. And I haven't forgotten him. I'm never going to forget him, but I've lost my focus on him. And I need to figure out how to make sure that I'm dedicating everything that I do to him, whether it's just sitting back playing a game of League of Legends or Supervive or watching an anime or YouTube videos. Whatever you do in the day, whatever you're gonna do before work, before you walk through the doors, pray. As soon as you're about to leave, pray. You get home, make something to eat, pray. Sit down, about to watch some TV, pray. Give him thanks. Give him thanks for, like, hey, Lord, thank you for getting me through the day. Thank you for giving me this delicious meal. Thank you for giving me this time to sit back, unwind, and watch a show or play a game or whatever. And obviously pray when you need him. When you need to get through the tough times, when you need to get through all the other things. When you need to get through the literally with God, it's through the thick and the thin. He will be there for it all. Just again, season all of your grain offerings with salt to remind you of God's eternal covenant. His promise with you is eternal. But it's on us if we receive that promise or not. Because if we don't focus on God, it's because of our decision to not focus on him, whether that be consciously or subconsciously. We won't receive that promise until we continue. We make sure that we focus on him. Man, that's so crazy that all that pain and agony I went through and everything that I want, everything that I'm going to get, has just all been confirmed with one verse. And this one verse just says why this is God's living word. One more time. Season your salt. One more time. Season all your grain offerings with salt to remind you of God's eternal covenant. Never forget the promise that he gave you. Promises. And never forget to add salt to your grain offerings. Always focus on God. Jesus loves you.